Yeah, what's good? This is the Ozzy and Sid report. Welcome to the Ozzy and Sid report. Thank you for tuning in. You could have been any other place in the world. Wait, you could be anywhere else in the world. I always be messing up these intros, but you already know I got the Ozzy and Sid report down so you can get that. Yo, this is Ozzy Oz. I don't care if 2 people are watching, the 2 billion people are watching. We gonna get the we're gonna get these opinions and takes and this content out. Yo, this is viral news off of 2 views. Again, this is viral news off of 2 views. Like I said, 2 people, 2 billion people. It's reaching the universe. Okay, I know that. Worry about all the followers and the likes and the shares, subscribe. You already know what it is. Well, of course. I mean, I want you to like and share, subscribe, but the main thing is getting the content out. Yo, shout out to the straight shooters 94 again. That's your straight shooters 94. That's spelled the regular way. Straight and shooters and the number 94. Yo, for my guest hosts and co-hosts, Mr. AKA Number Net Bitch. Yeah, Big Sheed. Mr. Captain Fall in Line. Yeah, himself, Sid. Yeah, Sid and Sheed. Sheed and Sid. I still like the shit and Sid, but they wanted to correct it. But anyway, yeah, back to the show and the topic at hand. I know I put current news, I put black communities and positive change is really here. I know they always putting propaganda in the news. Yo, the black community struggling. We got so many inconsistencies we got to deal with, which is true. But to be honest with you, the one thing I can say is sometimes you turn off the news and you just look around. Yo, black people are actually putting in our communities, in our culture. Did I spell culture right in the thing? I hope I did. I just realized that. Ah, it's got the street code thing again. Anyway, my bad. Um, what I was gonna say is sometimes you gotta turn off the media. Well, I guess you would turn off me. But hey, listen to the good stuff. Sometimes you gotta like tune tune up your hearing and your sixth sense and just look around and see the good moves and the good changes that we making as a people. Because as you know, I always say, yo, Philly and Jersey, those are my homes for life. That's what made me. That's where I'm from. And I live down here in Texas now, and if a lot of people, like a lot of us in the black community, in our black communities that we know, if you from up north or you from out west, Midwest, whatever, majority of us, yeah, well, back to slavery, we always have roots down south. And the one thing about down south now is that they're progressing. There's so many black business owners I know are doing good. There's so many black nuclear families. There's all the stuff that they basically preach in the media, like, yo, we missing out with the money and the education and the actual family foundation and good relationships and things like that. The high medium income because it's a capitalistic society, so we got to look at that. Just all the good stuff that they talk about, like 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 when you look at the Tyler Perry movie, you're like, man, this ish right here is fake. It's too picture perfect. Yeah, there's some Tyler Perry movies like really playing out in real life. Okay, and I just had to use Tyler Perry movies as an example because that's what kind of shows us in this little Hallmark picture esque perfect life. Like this is what it would look like. And yeah, there's a lot of that. Now, outside of all the news that's surrounding him right now, and some of the underlying content materials that you could discuss and going further in a deeper analytical, psychological, theoretical conversation, that's for another day. But for the surface level, yeah, in more of the southern states, black people are actually progressing. Is there still some work to be done? Yeah, but I'm tired of hearing the oh, we didn't get nowhere. Oh, we didn't make like yes we did. Like let's take our wins as we can take them. Like they say, celebrate the wins that you get. Small, big. I don't know. I need to pause. No, I don't need to pause. Talking about the heritage right here. Um, yeah. Whether it's good, bad, regular, day, or whatever, just take the wins where you can. So that's what I was talking about, the positive changes. But I gotta get on this bullish. Because lately, what we've been talking about is Trump releasing these National Guards, denouncing the street code life, like for real. And the reason why I've been talking about that lately is because I've kind of been talking about it, and now, as I'm a late millennial, I still feel some responsibility for they keep talking about. Okay, that's what we're gonna get to. We're gonna get to right now. Let me get the ball off my chest. I'm tired of hearing about people talking about, oh, these YNs, these YNs, these YNs, this, that, and the third, they going crazy in the streets. But guess what? If anybody got kids, anybody dealt with any of the youth, like some people like to say, um, a lot of that is learned behavior. They got to get it from somewhere. So I don't even care if there's a 22-year-old acting up in the street. Oh, they know better. Yeah, kind of, and they kind of don't, because again, we set all this up for them. What some of these supposed OGs and the big gangsters said in the streets out here? Oh, you ain't tough. Oh, you ain't about that life. Oh, you don't know what it is. Oh, you would have got ate up in the streets back in the day. I don't know, ate up. I'm meaning like tough Tony talk, like people fighting, you know, out there getting the packs off in the streets and things like that. Because I don't know if that's going to translate into prison language. But anyway, nah, that was a joke. I mean, we ain't even go there. But yeah, it was always this belittlement of the YNs coming up, like, oh, you really don't got no hustle in you, so you keep testing and trying and testing and trying these younger groups and these younger community and the young culture and the YN culture coming up. What do you think they're going to do now? They take it. They want to take it on the chin, and now they want something to prove, and then they prove it, and then they overprove it, and then now y'all got a problem with it. It's like you out there, you want this little lap little toy poodle dog, okay, but you training it like a pit bull, like you feeding it raw steak with blood dripping with gunpowder in there, and then you just have it watching boxing all day, and then you take it around to the dog fights, and then you be like, oh no, this is my little lap poodle. He's soft and he's kind, and then he turns out to be a killer. Like, oh, why is he like this? Oh, shoot him, like put him down. Like, no, you made this. You made this killer. We made this killer. We taking responsibility for it. So some of the stuff I wanted to touch on, because we're adding into that. Why? And mainly just black men, because I grew up with other cultures and I've seen this. Why in black men? I'm gonna keep it simple. I don't have to come up with no big words for it. Why does our toughness have to be tested and demonstrated and displayed that we are the ultimate warriors at all times? Why does our sexual abilities have to be tested and displayed and demonstrated that we are the ultimate epitome of it at all times? Like, why? I sit here and think about it. Now, both can be good in the given space, in the given times. Read the room. But it doesn't have to be all the time. And again, like I said, because I don't have all my hosts here, it ain't gonna be super long live, but these are the topics that I've been thinking about lately that we're gonna go more in depth to. Now, like I say, I always like to insert like IRL into it, real life and all that. I mean, I guess by society standards, which really didn't have to prove nothing. My toughness, my tough Tony talk, it's been displayed and it's been proven. You know, it's fights, not as much as fights. I mean, I'm a self defense dude, so when I had to defend myself, I defended myself. I never really got touched like that. But my toughness really got displayed in a lot of contact and combat sports, and just doing a lot of hard work that you just don't want to do because people calling you for like, hey, yo, you got shoulders, what's up? You can take it, what's up? Um, and luckily, um, my whole quote unquote in the society standards of the sexual abilities has already, I'm already good with that. Okay, it's displayed, and I passed the test. If there's a test for black men with the toughness and your sexual abilities, I passed all the tests. So I guess society puts a stamp on me like, oh yeah, okay, he's good to go. But it shouldn't even have to be that at all. So now I'm trying to help anybody that's really listening to this, but especially the youth, but anybody that's really listening to this. My thing is, why do black men have to be put up to these tests? Why do they have to be tough and gangster all the time? Why do they have to have the most? Why they have to have? Why do we have to have like the longest rosters when it comes to women and things like that? Why does that have to be in place? Like, why does our player esque always have to be on top of the game? Like, why do we have to be put into that light all the time? And again, like I said, in certain times and spaces, these things are good, but it's like, yo, that has to be tested and demonstrated and displayed on like an apex level at all times. But then the sad thing is, it's like they put us on there, and it's like that's what we're tested and graded and judged for before anything else. Before having the mind, body, and soul, like your actual character, your actual merit, your substance, your integrity, before any of that, your spirituality, how you talk and treat the people, even with the whole sexual ability thing they try to throw on black men. How come we can never be seen as the one that I don't know, we know how to converse with women with no angle or anything attached to it? Like, why we always got to be seen like that? And I want to break that down real quick for you. You know why? We would probably want to be seen in another light, because that's when you get these Diddies and these Shannon Sharps. And it's like, yeah, you you took all that, you took all that I want to be the next superstar, the super P star out here in these streets and getting all the awards, and then you losing $25 million out of your pocket. Nah, it ain't worth it. Like, how come we can't be seen as other cultures in the Spanish communities, Asian, even the white communities, and all the subgenres from the Italian to the Irish? They all get to have their bachelor status, and they all get to play the field. But then their apex is seen as, hey, they created a family, they had kids, they got themselves a beautiful wife, and they made a home. That's their apex. But for the black man, it's like, yo, how many did you knock down from like the past 6 months? You know, and Who's the last nigga that you effed up the other day? You know, like who's the ninja that you effed up the other day that crossed your line? And most of the time, it's somebody that looks like us. You know, that's what it is. Why is this whole snitch culture put on every black man in America when every black man in America ain't playing with them in games and working that type of code? I mean, I just don't get it. Why are we held up to these standards? Now, I get some of the reason it was fed to us. Like I said, I'm a millennial when it was in them. It was in those 2000s and 2010s. You know, even if you was a black man, a black adolescence, and say you your thing was college, or your thing was becoming an athlete, or your thing was getting entrepreneur, your thing was just getting into business, your thing was getting into the medical field, your thing was getting into the union trade, your thing was, I don't know, trading stocks, you know, or probably your thing was on the streets getting off these packs and things like that. But the thing is, all those other things I named, and only was one thing that dealt with the streets. But why does like every black man in every type of sector, communities, and our whole culture as a whole and our heritage, why do we have to be attached to like we could be all this, we could be educated and decorated and accoladed. But we always got to be tied into the street code and the street element. It's like, yo, before anything else, if you ain't holding the streets down, nah, bro. If you're not out here playing with 3 to 5 women at a time, nah, bro, your manhood ain't up there yet. It's just not. It's just not. Let it now, not me. What was I about to say? Not me, but if a black man decided to save himself until marriage, he would be clown. If a man from any of the other cultures I name in those communities, from white, Asian, and Irish, Italian, from the Indian, China, whatever, if they were like, hey, you know what? I know the popular thing is to sow your oats and go live your life and play the field, but I want to decide to save myself. They might endorse a couple jokes like, ha ha ha, like, here you go, that's corny. At the same time, most of those communities are probably going to support it. And guess what? A lot of those communities actually do support it, and it's not funny, and it's not looked at being crazy. It's just looked at as like, oh man, it's a hard discipline, because especially the world that we live in these days, yeah, that's hard, because there's access out there 24/7. But let that be a black man, a black adolescent saying that, oh, I'm saving myself. He would be trashed left and right. You would never hear the end of it. Let him get into a fight and get knocked out. Oh my God, it's going to stay with him forever. And it ain't just going to be a joking matter. It's going to be to the fact you got to break down this man's integrity and characteristics where it's like his manhood is taken away. Like, I just don't get it. I feel bad for some of these young adolescents, these black male adolescents that gotta go through this. Luckily, people that know me on here, on these YouTube streets, whatever, in the media, and then in IRL, in real life, yo, like, for real, people know me. I move by the beat of my own drum. I'm just me. I'm Ozzy. That's my nickname in real life. I'm Ozzy. I'm myself. I don't have to fall into these uh formalities that they have in society, that, oh, these are the norms or the set precedent norms that are not even like natural norms but things that we make up. I never had to fall into that. So that's why I said all my stuff, I've been tested and I've been demonstrated and displayed, and I passed all these society norms. But at the same time, I moved to be my own drum, because I'm like, but why does it even have to be that? As long as you're just doing the basics of just being a decent human being, knowing from wrong from right, and knowing what's left and what's right, what's up and what's down, then I mean, I thought those are the bases. But like I said, especially for the black adolescents, that's why we were saying, yo, this whole street culture thing, it got out of hand. It's got to be denounced. And like I said before, yeah, the street element in the culture has been explained. In the previous video, I was talking about, like, why was it been attached to the black communities? Why is it the street culture is just big in America? Because America, we was the kind of the outcasts. We were the crime element, and that's how we, excuse me, that's how we kind of got ahead with a lot of things. It just is a part of our culture. But see, the other cultures know how to have the other cultures, communities know how to have that a part of them, but they don't have to. They can mature and graduate from it and move on to different life. Now, yeah, they might have a million gangster flicks out here, about the Italian mob and Irish mob and things like that. We might have the combat sports that we look at, but at the same time, John Cena is a big dude. Okay, John Cena is a cool dude. I don't know him personally, but I could just tell I'm a good judgment of character and how he talks, how he carries himself, unless he's totally different in real life. But whatever. He's a big dude, he's in shape. Okay? And we know that, yeah, he can be tough. He probably knocked somebody out. Now I know he's more entertainment wrestling, but I'm sure if he got into a little tussle, a little scruffle, he could probably do some things, do some work. Whether he would win, lose, or draw, we would still respect him as John Cena. I.e., take Shannon Sharp, athlete, big muscle dude. They kind of same age. See what I'm saying? Like Shannon Sharp always has to prove his toughness. Oh yeah, come on, pull up, we gonna fight. Come on, pull up, we gonna fight. I don't hear John Cena saying that. And these dudes like kind of the same size. You know? I just don't. You see what I'm saying? Like John Cena could do his thing and still hold his image. Even if he took a loss to his image of the tough part, he just can't. Even if I don't know, say when I was talking about black men being held up to this like sexual apex that we just have to, or just powers. Even if I don't know if he was on IG Live, let me make some crazy scenario, and he got dumped by a beautiful woman. You know, we would look at it, might laugh, but then he would still uphold his image and move on. Let that happen to Shannon Sharp. All these gay rumors and like, oh, can you really handle women and things like. See what I'm saying? Like black men are always held up to this test, and it's just getting old. But the good thing is, what I've been seeing lately, a lot of people have been waking up. Is like, yo, we gotta change our ways. Or for some of us that can't change our ways, just stay out the way. Or yo, it's just time to go back inside. Because now I know one thing I said on these previous videos with Trump is that yo, I said everyone had to start acting accordingly. I'm not saying you don't have to give up your blackness. You could be unapologetically black all you want. That was no problem. I just said act accordingly because they coming out here cleaning up the streets. Now they going after the mayor of New Orleans. They going after her. You see what I'm saying? They going after the one that tried to do with the Young Thug trial. Now they got supposedly. I seen these pictures. I don't know if they AI or not. Now they trying to uh belittle Lil Baby and his image. You see what I'm saying? Like they putting on the play. I don't know. Now I know they're doing it in other communities and cultures, but they really playing out. They putting us on display. I don't know if it's something where it's like, yo, it's one of them things like, yo, humiliate them, belittle them, put them down because they start finding out how much wins and how much superpowers they really got. Nah, we can't let them find out. I don't know if it's something about that, but all I know across the board, if you black, no matter what area and sector of life and communities and circles that you are in, whether it's athlete, corporate world, whether you working at McDonald's, UPS, whether you are a superstar athlete, whether you in college, whether you're an entrepreneur, whatever you are in the church, they are bringing motherfuckers down. Like motherfuckers down. Everybody's catching the fan case. Is anybody recognizing this? But I'm just saying, man. Black adolescents, you don't have to prove your your toughness. You don't have to prove your sexual abilities and all through your manhood. You don't have to prove that. You don't have to live up to these tests. The only thing you have to do is true, stay strong to your core and what you need to do that is really, I keep saying, spiritually based to where you have that. It's just that innate and that eternal feeling that you're doing something good and you're progressing. Once you start attached, I don't know how to put it in words, but once you start attached to that internal energy, that spiritually grounded, bounded energy, that whatever, for me, it was getting back in shape and working out. For some people, it's changing up the diet. Some people is um I don't know, educate yourself. Like I do vocabulary words all day, like new ones. Keep some mind sharp. Whatever it is, you get that core balance with some good family and friends, and some good influences around you, and whatever your productivity is in society, whatever you do, you get some of those core things down. That's what you want to move with first. That's what you really need to get tested on. Not all this bull ish that they talking about in the streets. that street culture ain't getting nowhere. Because the number one thing, like I keep saying, yo, we are offing each other like crazy at an alarming rate. It ain't worth it. It's not worth it. We're literally adding to what they want. And yes, do we listen to some of the music that is part of that propaganda? Yeah, we do. And it's good entertainment. But the same thing like any other culture and communities. I'm not putting that on hip hop. The hip hop kind of add a little bit to it, yeah, but I'm not putting that on hip hop because again, they have bang bang shoot 'em up killing movies from these other complexions all day, every day. The National Rifle Association, they advertise that they got those guns are just not for hunting and sport. Come on. They advertise that, market it all day. But see, the thing is, though, I don't know, in them areas, in them circles, they know how to create balance and regulate themselves. Our problem is when we get in the midst of that and that light is shining on us, it's no showing no regulation and balance. Now it is because I've seen it, but we need more of it. We really do. We really do. We need more of it. So yeah, those are just my thoughts. Like I said, I just be coming on here. I had no script, no direction. I wasn't taking no notes. These just my thoughts throughout the day. And yeah, that's just another thing that's adding to. Yo, let's just denounce that. Let's denounce all this regular, all this toughness test. This test of your manhood and what you can do. Like, let's stop with these tests and display. Let's get back to the coreness of what you need to do and build off of that and move forward. So, hello, New World. This is the Ozzy and Sid Report. Thank you again for tuning into the Ozzy and Sid Report. This is Ozzy Oz. Yo, it's viral news off of 2 Views. Check out Straight Shooters 94. Again, it's Straight Shooters 94 with Sheed and Sid. Hello, New World. I'm out.